A small room of 30 square meters. The sun shines through the window on the floor. The interior is cluttered. Seiji sat on the floor, facing the window, with a pensive look. In front of him was a computer with a mysterious system interface on the screen. Seiji looks back on his life in this new body and begins to explain his inexplicable system, which he calls System G Gal Game systems have some basic features that are relatively common. The screen displays dialogue options, conversation history, favorability view, and self-properties view. When talking to the main character, that is, the beauty, there will be dialogue options at some point, and one of the three options will increase the liking, one will decrease the liking, and one will not change anything. The screen switches to the conversation option, showing three options: increase favorability, decrease favorability, and change nothing. Seiji then explained the favorability view and their own attributes view. The screen shows the attributes of the Seiji: learning, sports, art, music, communication, charm. Learning, 5, waste, even if you go to primary school is the last one. Sports, 5, waste, even elementary school girls can kick you down. Fine arts, 9, low, barely have a little appreciation of painting ability, Music, 10, low, understand general pop music, but still an idiot. Communication, 2, garbage, you communicate with others is equal to insult them. Charm, 0, a piece of dog shit on the side of the road is more attractive than you. The note is very hurtful, but that is not important. And after the memory of the predecessor, the clear division had to decide that the predecessor fell in the simple apartment was choked to death by instant noodles. However, the most important features have yet to be revealed. The final functions appear on the screen: saving and reading files.
No kidding, because the last function of the G system is actually archive and read file. This feature is one of the most common in the game, but everything is necessary for the game. And then in reality, oh my god, this shit is going to heaven.
Seiji's mood is like a rocking roller coaster, and a magical, never-before-seen opportunity unfolds before his eyes. The ability to save and read files, that's the magic of playing with time. He was ecstatic to be able to do all the things he had ever dreamed of, and then when everything went haywire, with one click, it would all go back to square one, as if by magic. Seiji realizes that this power is nothing less than a demon's toy, and it can lure people down the path of moral absurdity. However, Seiji does not want to be that demon, and he decides to discipline himself and not abuse this function. Seiji gets up and prepares to rearrange the room. Seiji stands in this strange and magical small room, surrounded by old things and garbage, like a time capsule, preserving the remnants of his past life. The house is small, but for him, it has become a new beginning of this parallel world. 30 square meters, the only shelter you can call it, but it's his only home for a while. This fantastic history unfolds so that Seiji can't help but feel shocked, as if he were in a huge historical fantasy. The world's armaments make him feel more intense. Mecha, individual, exoskeleton, flying fortress, biological giant, and other technologies make him confused. However, Seiji is no longer in doubt and confusion. He decides to accept this new world full of strangeness and begins his own journey. Just as he was tidying up his room, a knock at the door interrupted his thoughts. It's the landlord's daughter, Mika Uehara. Mika Uehara, frowning, reproached Seiji loudly.
Fat pig, your rent is already half a month behind, and you still can't pay it.
I know, very rude, but I really don't have any cash right now. Give me 2 days and I'll sell the contents of this room and pay you the rent.
Okay. I'm gonna trust you one last time. Me to come back in a week.
Seiji breathed a sigh of relief and looked at Mika Uehara gratefully. He understands that this new world will not be forgiving of him because of his rebirth, and he must work to improve his life and win the approval of this parallel world. Seiji went into the bathroom, washed the dust, and then put on clean clothes. He's still chubby, but at least he's no longer the fat bastard he was in his previous life, and he senses that his charisma has gone up 5 points in the system. Seiji is in a new mood, and he decides to start a thorough cleaning of the room. He cleaned out the trash, organized things, and prepared a large pile of CDS, game cards, and so on for sale. The screen is filled with a variety of different games, each carrying memories of his past life. After selling all the things that can be sold to a second-hand shop, Seiji finally got a small sum enough to pay the rent. However, it is only the rent. He has no money now. If you do not want to find a way to pay the rent, after 3 days, he will be out of food. The predecessor is really a strange work. The family gave enough money for half a year's rent and food and clothing, but he squandered it in just 2.5 months and did not think about how to do after running out of food. To tease the predecessor's death behavior, the clear division can vomit for 3 days and 3 nights. I don't think so for now. The predecessor has long stopped going to school. Seiji has no plan to go to school for the time being. He now has all weather time to find a job first, earn a wage not to starve. To tell the truth, if you just want money, there are various ways to use the save and read file function. But the clear division does not intend to do that, and does not want to wantonly use this powerful cheating device in this matter.
So I choose to work, but what can this fat and useless body do? If you go to a restaurant or something, you wouldn't hire the owner in his right mind.
Seiji thought for a while, and finally came up with an idea. There is a commercial street near the residence. There are several home street puppets to attract customers on the street. Seiji Division think this work can do, because you can't see anyone. Fat body, low appearance level, obscene temperament, as long as hidden in the Muppets, all is not a problem. The Muppet costume is a child's dream, not a fat house, but can you enlist? At least the past life has experienced the civil service exam such a level of talent. Clear division, let's have a try. The result, Seiji, to ask the first one, was brushed, requiring a suitable resume. The second and third are not hiring, until the fourth store just put up a sign to solicit Muppets to work. And the owner is a beautiful woman. A woman in her early 30s, with a slightly foxy appearance, a brown hot roll and a magnificent chest, wearing a style of clothing, a small suit wrapped in the body, a short skirt, black stockings, high heels, and a sexy seductive breath all over her body. Especially in her hands around the chest, that moment straight up breast enhancement. So that clear division to see a hot head, the lower body almost had a reaction.
If it is the predecessor, it may start harassing at this time.
Trying to control emotions, expression tight. The woman took Seiji's resume and looked at it for a while.
You are still a high school student. Why did you apply for this full-time job?
It's for your beauty.
I'm taking a leave of absence from school for some personal reasons, and right now I need money. Please hire me, starting at an hourly rate. Lower is fine." End quote.
The woman thought about it, and then put forward some conditions. The fine division thought about it and agreed. The work was harder than he expected. First, because it was very hot in the Muppet suit, and even though the owner's wife had thoughtfully placed an ice pack, long hours of activity would still make him sweat. In addition, some naughty children will kick and beat the Muppets, although it will not hurt very much, but it is easy to fall and increase the difficulty of the work. A week later, the owner's wife handed Seiji a cup of iced coffee and then handed him an envelope containing his salary. Seiji found that the salary was more than he expected. The boss's wife explained that it was a bonus because his performance was better than she expected. Seiji buys food in the shopping street and returns to her residence. It was dark, the air was hot, and it looked like rain. He quickened his pace until he was almost at his house when he heard a strange noise. The voice comes from a teenager in a school suit with dyed yellow hair who is pressing down on the landlord's daughter, Mika Uehara, and cursing her with nasty words. Seiji came closer and took the opportunity to save an archive. Seiji moves quickly, with a precise kick to the back of the yellow-haired boy's head, kicking him away. Uehara's struggle eased as she saw the tall figure standing behind her. The yellow-haired boy tried to stand up but was kicked down again by Seiji. On the original Meija safe, she reached out to grasp the hands of the fine division, was pulled up. Seiji asked if she needed to call the police, but Uehara Meija told him that the yellow-haired teenager was her classmate and did not want to call the police. Although Seiji thinks this is unwise, he respects Uehara Mika's decision. The fine division accompanied on the original Meija back to her residence suggested that she call the mother landlord, calm down the mood. Suddenly, Uehara Mika called Seiji. She trembled, invited him to sit in the house. On the original Meiji home, fine division is comforting Meiji.
You don't have to worry too much, Mika Uehara. I know you're scared right now, but we're going to find a way.
But I really don't know what to do. I didn't have the courage to face the bully, let alone ask the school teacher for help.
Don't worry, I'll help you. We have 3 options. First, give him a good lecture so that he will be afraid from the bottom of his heart, unquote. Second, attach yourself to someone stronger than him on campus and ask for asylum. Third, transfer schools, unquote.
I don't know. It's all so hard to do.
I'm sure you can. Sometimes we have to put our heads down and ask for help. This does not mean that we are weak, but to better protect ourselves.
Tomorrow, I'll see the student president. Thank you, Haruta. If it weren't for you, I might.
Don't mention it. It's a simple task. We have to help each other, right?
Seiji's room. One night, Seiji is watching the most popular animation video in Sakurajima. Just as the clear division is ready to watch again, the door is gently knocked. Meiji walked into his room, brought his mother's lunch, shared to the clear division. The next morning, Meiji once again prepared breakfast for the division. The two reached an agreement, she made breakfast for the division, and then the division escorted her to school. The interaction between the two makes them grow closer, and Mika thanks Seiji for sending her to school.
No, it should be. You've always been there for me, and I feel safe.
By the way, yesterday you mentioned that you used to go to school with your sister and sister. Do you miss them?
I'd like to, but I don't think it's time yet. I have to try to get better first, and then I have to face them.
You can do it, Seiji. I believe you will become better and better.
Seiji returns home and warily chooses the exercise at home option. Suddenly, a strong impulse swept over him, and he was plunged into the world of exercise. In Seiji's room, he sweats and keeps doing aerobics, surrounded by only 1, 2, 3, 4, and rhythm of the sound. Eventually, he was sweating and exhausted.
This system option is toxic. How can the effect be so strong? If I can maintain this effect every time I exercise, I'll be a sports expert in no time. But surely it can't be that easy?
Seiji opens the door and looks tired.
What's wrong with you, Haruta?
Nothing. I was just exercising.
Exercise?
Yes, I don't have to work today, so I did some aerobics in my room and just got out of the shower.
Uehara Mika glimpses Seiji seems to have lost some weight.
You seem to have lost a little weight?
Maybe it's an illusion. Aerobics can't lose weight so quickly.
A sunny morning. In front of the apartment building, Seiji and on the original Beauty Hope meet. On the original Beauty Hope smiled to the clear division.
Good morning, Haruta. Did you just go for your morning jog?
Yes, landlady.
You look like you're working hard. Mika says you're a different person.
I know I used to be terrible, so I'm starting to change. I just hope it's not too late. I beg your pardon for having offended your landlady before.
I should ask you to forgive me a lot. My attitude is also a little bad. And thank you so much for helping my daughter. If it wasn't for you, then...
Mei Wang faced fear, cannot continue to say,
Lift a finger as long as met, a man would do it. Miss Meiji thanked me too. And you don't have to be too polite, Mayam.
Thank you very, very much indeed.
Did your wife wait here to thank me?
Well, I wanted to thank you in person anyway.
Seiji said to take a bath as soon as possible, and went upstairs. Mei Hope looked at each other's back, thoughtfully. I think Seiji is really turning into a lovely child. And, like, a little slimmer, a little better looking, you know. Ihara's living room, dinner time, clear division, Mei Wang, Meiji sitting around the table, enjoying dinner. Seiji looks confident and handsome, and Meiji gazes into his face, full of contradictions. In my heart, I feel that Chunda-jun seems to be becoming more and more handsome. Everyone continued to eat.
The change is amazing.
Mei Wang concerns to ask clear division. He has what plan to change the status quo. Seiji mentioned possibly changing jobs, earning more money, and trying to buy gifts for her family. It's all part of his quest to improve his life, not just physically, but financially. Mei Wang nodded approvingly, and she believed that the family would be proud and pleased for his change. Meiji is looking at Seiji more and more blushing. The girl tried to hide her feelings in her heart. Soon after, they talk about a student at the school, yellow hair, who is now dropped out. The news made everyone happy. When Seiji calls her, she angrily asks to be called Mika instead of Miss Uehara. End quote. However, Her reaction also reveals her inner feelings towards Seiji, especially when her mother mentions whether she is disappointed in Seiji. Despite her attempts to hide it, her face was still flushed, and she refused to admit that she had any feelings for Seiji. The morning light shines through the window in the room. Seiji sits on the bed, looks at the alarm clock, and then gets up. He put on his morning jogging gear and went out for a morning run. After taking a bath and washing up, Seiji prepares her own breakfast. However, he felt a little disappointed when the pretty girl did not bring him breakfast. Just as he was thinking this, there was a knock on the door. The door opens, and there is a beautiful girl with a bento box, Mika Uehara. Meija, pout-mouth, hand out the bento box. Seiji took the breakfast, returned to the room, ready to enjoy breakfast. Opening the bento box, he saw that the dishes inside were obviously different, revealing a rusty sense of craftsmanship. Clear division to understand this special breakfast is the beauty of the hand to do. Meija walks on the sunny street and admits that she has a little crush on Seiji just when she is shy. Suddenly, a figure appeared in front of him, dirty clothes, wild yellow hair, and red eyes. "It's the yellow hair!" She unconsciously turned and ran, screaming for help. Suddenly, Seiji appeared in front of her, blocking behind her like a solid wall. Undaunted, she embraced each other's wrist with both hands, slipped her right foot into each other's crotch, and kicked ferociously up. Peng, amid the crash. There was the sound of something cracking. Yellowhair's crazy expression freezes on his face. Fine division never allowed a hurt Meija things happen. Clear division eyes read. The original Yellowhair once succeeded. For this he read a file. Originally, in order to block Meijia's offensive without injury, he read the file twice. Originally, in order to use the opportunity of self-defense to cause pain to Yellowhair life, no longer powerless to harm the great damage, he read the file 3 times. For this moment, he started over 6 times. Meija can't think how, until recently, a cowardly otaku teenager, she was able to stand in front of great malice without fear. Nor can I think why the teenager can subdue each other with smooth and precise movements. In her eyes, only the back of the teenager's generous back and the firm words of the teenager echoed constantly in her ears.
Stay back, Mika. I will protect you.
A hot stream of heat gushed from Meijia's heart, burning her chest, burning her whole body, making her almost cry out. Clearly should not be like this. Clearly should calmly check the situation, concerned about whether the teenager is injured. But she, this moment can only stay in place, feel the impact of great happiness. His legs trembled, and something warm gushed out of his eyes. No longer, can't deny it. On the original Meija, this moment, very conclusive that she has been thoroughly in love with the name of Haruda Seiji Youth. In the dessert shop, Seiji is wearing the uniform of a waitress, and the customers are eating. Last week, the company and the owner's wife explained the idea of quitting to find a high-paying job. The owner's wife is also a witness to the miracle of the fat man turned handsome, without saying a word decided to raise the company half of the salary, let him to be a waiter. Then, Meija made a phone call to Seiji.
Seiji, the president knew what happened yesterday. She asked me for details, and then said he wanted to meet you.
Huh? The student president? He wants to see me? Why?
She says she knows you.
What?
Seiji touched her chin and felt a little curious.
Let's meet. How does she want to meet?
If you can, she said, I'll meet you tomorrow afternoon at the Divine Taste dessert shop on Shop Street.
Mika Uehara's first phone call with the student president, but instead discussing other girls' issues on the phone, Mika feels frustrated. At the same time, she begins to feel a sense of crisis, worried about the impact of the student president's contact with Seiji Haruda on her feelings. She is grateful to the student president, but also realizes that Seiji might be attracted to his charm. This makes her feel torn and worried because she worries that her relationship will become more difficult. Meija rolled around in bed, tangled. Seiji waits for the arrival of the president in the coffee shop after work, which arouses the curiosity and discussion of colleagues in the shop. His colleague Senpai Tanaka thinks he may be waiting for a girlfriend, but Seiji clarifies that it is not a girlfriend. Customers in the store began to comment on the handsome boy outside the window and express curiosity about his appearance and behavior. When Tanaka seniors continued to tease, Shang Yuan Meijia came in, caught everyone's attention. She is still a school uniform, charming and lovely. The development of fine, delicate body reveals the green and astringent sexy is a classy girl. But in front of the one who followed after her, the light was completely taken away. The same is a school uniform of girls. Black, long, straight hair down to the waist, skin white, phoenix eyes, red lips, chest tall to feel the school uniform to break the degree. The buttocks are also very warty, with short skirts and black stockings, a super high school level of temptation color gas. But with such a sexy body of girls, the face is pure, the expression is awa, inspiring, and the sharp ang emitted in the eyes is enough to make any male instantly converge the blasphemy of the mind as if blooming a layer of clear desire halo. That was Seiji's first impression of the president.
My name is Wanhua Summer Night, the one who almost became your fiancé, Seiji Haruda.
What?
The words and deeds of the summer night shocked everyone. She coughed lightly, said it was a long time ago. Seiji Division is a little embarrassed, let two girls order to ease the atmosphere. In the following conversation, Summer Night also mentioned that the Clear Division to protect Meijia, to avoid the occurrence of school scandals, said that the school owes a favor to the Clear Division. Finally, Meia also expressed her gratitude again. Once again there was silence, but this time there was warmth in the silence. Suddenly, Summer Night offers Seiji an important option, inviting him to transfer to her school, and the school will provide help so that Seiji can resume his academic life instead of living alone and working. Seiji is eager for this opportunity, but also has some concerns because he has made serious mistakes in the past. Seiji tells her thoughts. The dialogue option pops up. A. I don't want to go to school anymore. No thanks. B. Is that really possible? Of course I want to go back to school. C. It's an important choice that I need to think about. Jingling. The right choice. The liking increased dramatically. Natsuya advises Seiji to change his name to hide his past, a way that is allowed by law. Meijia is also very supportive of this idea, because she thinks that Seiji has changed so much that people in the past can't recognize him. Natsuya even suggested that Seiji use the surname Uehara and set him up as Uehara's classmate's cousin to provide more cover. Although Seiji ultimately chooses to circumvent this option, he agrees to change his name in order to resume his academic life. And I promise I won't let you down. Yuanhua Middle School, Meijia, and Seiji just finished a conversation with President Wanhua Summer Night.
I believe so too.
Wanhua Summer Night smiled, one hand stroking his chin, exuding intoxicating charm. Her smile is enough to make a lot of young men fall. Seiji has some heart. If there is no previous life experience, may think she is flirting with him. But in reality, it was just an unintentional gesture on her part. Meijia regrets the president of the adult and exudes magic. Do not know how many men and women are fascinated by her, including her. The president is so beautiful.
Excuse me, answer the phone. I'm sorry, something urgent has come up. I have to leave now.
Thank you for your help, President.
Seiji and the president exchanged mobile phone numbers. Then, the president leaves. Two people watched her leave, the president just out of the door. A luxury car came to meet her. On the other side, in the luxury car, Wanhua Xia Night sat with Zheng Fang Yingying. The eagle thinks that Seiji does not have the consciousness to protect his own name. The contrast between who he is now and who he was before is too great, both in appearance and personality, end quote. If I didn't have hard evidence, anyone would think it was two people. But after seeing him with my own eyes, I saw a little of what I had seen before as a child of the little boy of Springfield, end quote.
So, I wonder what happened to him. I'm beginning to suspect that there may have been an additional element to the fall of our former Springfield son.
And now his great change is probably because he finally got rid of the extra factor and found his earliest true self, end quote. So Miss Da thinks that Seiji is very valuable? The waiter said.
He has the potential to be of great value. but his time to change is not long enough to make a conclusion so quickly." End quote. If he stays the way he is, or if I am right, the Prince of Springfield will create a terrible storm. End quote.
The car is quiet again. Black luxury car, quietly into the black night. Tomorrow, the Fine Division will go to Yuanhua Middle School as a transfer student. Although expected, the Fine Division or feeling about the strong ability of the big Miss President. From beginning to end, he only answered the phone twice and sent some personal materials, and she actually did all of them. Clear Division no. So hard to let him transfer behind, there must be hidden some important reasons. But right now, he doesn't need to care about that. The new week began. On Monday morning, Seiji finished running home in the morning and put on the school uniform of Yuanhua Middle School after washing. He took a look in front of the mirror. He felt more and more handsome. This level of appearance to improve the Fine Division began to worry. After all, handsome to a certain extent will also lead to strange things. He also lamented how his predecessor ruined his handsome base into that. Now it seems that he himself should be a decent level of appearance of the boy. Meiji is also thinking that today is the day of Seiji to go to school again, although initially it was to be happy to go to school with him, but now Meiji's joy has been mixed with trouble. Now Seiji is an absolute bomb to the girls at school. She began to worry that the division will be targeted by the schoolgirls. On the original, Meiji's mother is looking at her daughter. Know it? Because she recently also a little on the division of the heart. Outside the door, Seiji looks more handsome in the sunshine. He smiled at Meiji waiting at the door, ready to go to school together. Oike and Tani tidy up her appearance and clothes before going out, striving to present a perfect image. He knew the importance of school life and believed that school was a stage to show himself, and he wanted to show perfect appearance, elegant manners, and wonderful words like an actor to enhance his reputation and status. He thinks that he is different from those students who waste their youth at will, recognize the reality early, and have a detailed plan for the future summer night. Student president Wanhua Summer Night became his goal. Once achieved, at least 3 years less struggle. Oike Kazuya has always considered himself the closest boy in the school to Natsuya. However, one day, Wanhua tells Oike that a new student named Seigo Harano will be joining their class and asks Oike to take care of him. Oike and Valley began to feel the crisis. He even found that the big miss used their own family relations. Seiji changed her name to Seigo Harano on her first day at school, causing the class to marvel. Both boys and girls are shocked by his good looks and temperament, and even compared to Oike, the school weed, he also thinks that Segohara is more handsome. Oike and Tani feel threatened, but Mika Uehara is also unhappy with Kyogo Harano's popularity. As she guessed, Seiji is really too popular. At the moment, depressed he and Big Pond and Valley mood subtle overlap. Seiji sits in the classroom seat, looking at strange faces and noisy classmates. He feels a little uncomfortable. If Akichi walked into the classroom, the girls instantly stopped talking. Her aura suppressed others. Seiji talks to Chu and learns that Meiji has been maliciously vilified because she and Chu are close friends. And Chu has unparalleled charm, so as Chu's best friend, she becomes the target of jealous people.
Seigo Hara, this pseudonym is not bad, but I still think your original name is more beautiful. Tianxiu is really beautiful, very unique charm. Many girls secretly love her.
Seiji tries to make new friends, but finds that only the girls are warm to him, while the boys are distant from him. So Seiji suddenly took a step forward and grabbed Kazuya's hand.
Please become my friend. This sentence was spoken loud and clear.
Campus atrium. Lunch break. Hurrah! What the hell are you doing? He sighed and looked him in the eye.
Nothing. Just like I said, I want you to be my friend. The other boys were distancing themselves from me, so I needed a strong enough pedal. And you, the secretary of the student union, and Oike Kazuri, who was instantly known to be a popular top student, were the best choice. He's got his fake smirk down.
So you're using me?
Yes, no. I want to make friends with you. This sentence is not false.
What if I refuse?
What about it? The most I can do is to express my disappointment in front of the class. And if I have the opportunity to express my disappointment to President Wanhua, you. Impressive. I will be your friend, as you wish, but we are not friends.
This sentence is obviously contradictory, but it is easy to understand. At least the clear division can understand. Oike and Tanihara finally accept Seiji's request and express their willingness to work with him. Wakaba, on the other hand, appreciates Seiji's actions, believing that he has the ability to see through the nature of others and take advantage of them, even if this behavior is a little mean. During the rest of the lunch break, Seiji walked around the campus under the leadership of Meijia and Qiangqiu.
Hey, this school is really big.
Well, if you want to meet sweet and delicious junior high school girls, I can tell you how to,
It's tempting, but I can't be considered a pervert just yet. Wait.
Seiji feels that compared with Meijia, Qiangqiu, who has a little demon temperament, can talk more freely. On the original, Meijia was sandwiched between bad friends and gradually let go of bondage between otaku, teasing force some can't keep up. When Meijia was teased by Qiangqiu, Seiji scanned the campus and suddenly saw a petrified girl looking at this side. The girl wore a junior high school uniform, short stature, slim limbs, has a delicate face and big eyes. A pair of eyes are different color pupil, left green, right blue. What is also impressive is that she is wearing a pair of large cat ears on her head, which are wiggling gently, rather cute. She looks at Seiji, and Seiji looks at her. Suddenly she ran, with considerable agility, into the shadow of a nearby tree and disappeared. In the afternoon, Monitor Seiji called the school festival project planning meeting, saying that the school festival is coming and the project needs to be determined. Seiji introduced a variety of projects we are discussing intensely. Suddenly, Oikentani mentioned Harano, and Harano thinks it's an assist or a provocation. But Harano confidently proposed the dessert shop as a Gakuen festival project, explaining that he could obtain materials from the dessert shop where he worked and negotiate the price. He also suggested turning the shop into a cosplay dessert shop, based on the recent hit animation Honey Sugar Lady. He also mentioned that you can try to contact the copyright owners of the animation to obtain official authorization. Harano's speech was warmly received by the class, including Seiji, and finally decided to cosplay Dessert Shop as the Gakuen Festival project. Under the leadership of Meijia and Qiangqiu, the three go to the tennis department, which is also Meijia's club. Meijia, to the fine division, introduced the tennis ministry. The most powerful person is the minister show also. He's a handsome, medium to upper class guy with light green hair and good features. Hideo Aizawa's biggest goal is to win the heart of Mika Uehara, the best first-year girl in the department. But Xiangzhe had been frustrated because he heard that Meijia was targeted by school bullies, but the bullies suddenly quit school, bringing him new hope. But Mika had a sense of alienation from Aizawa, making him feel that his previous efforts were in vain. Aizawa Sho also, after seeing the wild Seigo, realized all the reasons. He decided to use his near-nationals prowess to show the guy that the world isn't all about faces.
Field students with girls, there will always be some let go of it. End quote. I see you move well. Very talented appearance. Fight with me, how about?